Alright, so the recommended process when you're working on your own checklist is you have to first plan the pages you'll have. So make sure, remember, the pages have to be about you, and you have to have an idea, a rough idea of what the content of the page is going to be and what name you want the pages to be. Next thing, you want to create a site folder. Just create a me folder, a folder named me, and just start creating your index pages and then making the website skeleton, making sure you finish your navigation bar, and then creating your CSS and linking it. And then after that, where you have finished the CSS and you have finished your index, you can now duplicate your index 4 more times at least, save it, rename it to the ones that corresponds with your content per page, and then change the content for every single page. So now you should have 5 total pages at the end with the same CSS, with very similar layouts, but the content are all correspondent to the specific page. And then at last, you will upload the site folder into FileZilla and configure the chmod. So it will now be a workable and clickable website. Okay. So when you're duplicating other pages, make sure that when you are saving, file save, and you're just basically making sure that your skeleton, your rough skeleton is the same, but the information between the title tag is different, your headings is different, and the content, the information within the content is different. Also, your index.html is very important. Like what I mentioned, your homepage HTML file should be named index.html. It is not homepage.html. That will make it not work. So yeah, just make sure that that is that, okay? Next thing, your site folder, again, needs to contain all of your files. So if you have like images you want to use, links you want to use in general, that you're linking in your HTML code, you have to make sure that your image and such are in the folder itself, or else it will be broken links and stuff like that and be deduction. Okay. Alright, rollover buttons. So if you guys remember, we created the little navigation bar with all of the IDs and stuff to click on. So if you let's just open up Visual Studio Code. So if you go inside Visual Studio Code, you're gonna go to File. Oh, sorry, you're gonna go to Laulima first. Let's make sure we do that. We're gonna go to Laulima first. You're gonna go to Announcements, and you're gonna download HTMLDAY2 section 1 file. After you've downloaded that, you're gonna make sure you have unzipped unzip this. I'm gonna make sure I unzip it. It's fine, actually. I'll extract this, make sure it's unzipped. And once I do that, I can go to File, Open Folder, find the unzipped section 1 folder, click Select Folder, and now this would open up. So if you guys remember where we left off, we copied the index.html and we duplicated it or pasted it into the goodies.html page and the reviews.html page. So let me open up my folder one more time to show you guys how that currently looks like. So let's go into our index.html. So if you guys remember, this is where we left off. And when we click on each, when we click on each one, when we click on goodies, it brings us to goodies.html, but right now there's no content inside. It still says home. When we click on review, same thing. When we go back home is done. Okay? So that is the navigation bar we have made. Now, what we want to do next is we want to make a rollover button for the navigation bar. So instead of our CSS, instead of our page, where is it? Instead of the page being, instead of the navigation bar being words that are links, they're going to be images that are links, okay? So how we're going to do that is we're going to go into our CSS. So now we're going to go into our CSS and we're going to go into line 36 and we're going to make the first hover button. So we're going to make the hover button for our goodies page first. So we're going to type in #goodies, open curly bracket, and inside that we're typing width, 115px, semicolon, height, 60px, semicolon, and then background, URL, open parentheses, quote, and we're going to type in goodies1.png, which is already right there. So I'm going to click on it so I don't have to type the whole thing in, and I'm going to type in margin, 5px, semicolon. So what this is all doing is the width and the height defines how big I want the image to be. So how big I want the buttons to be, and that corresponds with how big the image is in general. So if I was to open up my site folder right now, and I was to open up goodies1.png, and I click on the little dot and I click resize image, it shows me how big my image is, and the width is 115px, as you can see, and the height is 58, which is basically 60. Not that big of a difference. I want that to be defined so there's no errors, glitching, the image is displayed, the whole thing is displayed properly, and the margin just gives me the space that I want with it. And the background :URL, just make sure that the image is actually referred to. Alright, and then we're gonna type in hashtag goodies again. And then you're gonna put :hover, and then you open curly bracket, and then within that you're gonna type in background :URL, and now you're gonna put in inside the URL quote goodies2.png. So what that is doing is, since we have already defined the button before the hover, we don't need to define this again. Okay, but now all we're saying is now the hover, when we hover the cursor over goodies 1, it will now change goodies 2. So what I mean by that is, now if you go into our page, and now if I was to refresh, you can see that now my goodies has a button on the word goodies has a button on top, and that button is clickable too. Okay, so you can see now, and also, so this is 1 and this is 2. So right now, what you can see for the button is goodies 1, and then when I put my cursor over it, that's the hover, and now it's the goodies 2 image. Okay, now I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna paste this again, and I'm gonna change the word goodies, the second set. Okay, so we're gonna leave the first set of goodies, and we're gonna change the second set to reviews. Again, I already have the button reviews inside, so I just have to change the word to review. So if you remember, if you see right here where my cursor is, we have reviews 1 and reviews 2, so we don't need to make the image. Okay, but we will do that in a bit. So reviews, hover, and then reviews, and then to check again that it's working, we're gonna go into our web page, refresh, and now we have our reviews perfectly working. Alright, the next thing we are going to do is we have one more, as we can see, we have one more home button, but we don't have a home 1 or home 2 made. So we're going to go ahead and make that. And in order to make that, you're going to open up PowerPoint. This is the best way to make your own customized buttons, okay? You're going to go open up PowerPoint, delete like these random boxes, and you're going to go to Insert, Shapes, and you can insert any shape you like that you want your buttons to be. I'm gonna do the basic, like, little circle, like, not circle, but what is it called? What shape is this called? Rounded corner rectangle, okay? I'm gonna, once I have the image, the little shape, my button shape inserted, I'm gonna right click on the image, and I'm gonna click to format shape. Once I have clicked to format shape, I'm gonna click fill, and I'm gonna click picture or texture fill. Now I'm gonna do insert, and I'm gonna insert a picture from a file, and that's gonna be from the folder, the site folder we're working on right now. We have a file named pushingcat.png. We're gonna click insert, and now we have this inserted. We're gonna type in the word home. Okay, now I'm gonna resize this so it's a bit bigger. So I honestly don't really remember how big I put the words as, but I'm gonna like just kind of get a rough idea. So maybe like 36. Okay, whatever. I don't know. 36 is good, right, guys? I don't know what can hear me right now. Yeah, 36 is good. I'm also gonna bold this. No, I don't like how it looks. It's bolded. Is it bolded for the goodies? No, it's not. Is it this? I don't know what it is. Ooh, I think that's what that is for the goodies. See, I want it to match, right? When you're doing this, you should do it all at once, so they're all the same, okay? Alright, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna control and copy this, and I'm gonna paste this. So now I have 2 sets, right? You're gonna do this several times for all your buttons. and you're gonna have basically 2 sets for each button: your regular image and then the one that you want to use for your hover. The next thing we're gonna do is you want your regular button and your hover button to be 2 different images, and the best way to distinguish that is I think that's the right word, is you can either do different colors, or what you could do is this really cute thing that you could do is you can do shape effects and add presets to make the button kind of a different, like, look like they're a button being pressed. Okay, so my first button is gonna use preset number 3. Okay, and then my second button is gonna use preset number 2. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm gonna make sure that I have, this is what I want it to look like, and I'm gonna right click on the image, click save as picture. Make sure again that you're in the site folder. You're inside the site folder, and you're gonna type in what you want to refer to it as. So I'm gonna just type home 1, because remember, reviews 1, reviews 2, goodies 1, goodies 2. Just making sure that that is consistent. Right click, save as picture, and I'm gonna type home 2, save. Now I'm gonna show you guys something. So I'm gonna now again do the whole reviews, so I'm gonna do that one more time, and I'm gonna change the word reviews now to home, change the word reviews now to home, change the reviews to home, oh my goodness, and change the reviews to homes. However, this is not gonna be right, or this is right, but it's gonna have an issue, and I'll show you guys right now. Okay, so if you guys remember, our reviews and our goodies look so good, but if you refresh right now, it looks like this. The reason why is because our image is huge. So if I was to open up my site folder right now, let's compare the goodies 2 image to our home. Where's our home 2? Do I need to refresh? Oh, why is? Oh, it's right here. Home 2 image. If I was to open my home 2 image, it's huge, right? And we want to resize that. So the way I resize this is I will click on this dot, I'll click resize image, and I'll change this to 115px. Save. I'm gonna make sure again, oh gosh, I have to do this again. Make sure you're in their site folder, and I'm gonna click save. It's gonna say, does it really already exist? You sure you want to save it? I'm gonna click yes. And now I'm gonna close this up, and now if I open a home 2 again, it's gonna be teeny tiny. Yeah, perfect. We're gonna do the same thing for home 1. Okay. Goodness. It's like 12. I should not be yelling. Okay. Okay, that was a struggle. 115px. Save. Make sure it's inside your folder. Click yes, or you want to replace. For Mac users, I'll explain in a bit. Anyways, alright, so refresh. Now our buttons are looking so gorgeous and perfect. I'm going to close up my presentation. Don't save. The next thing I'm going to do for my navigation bar is now if you go into our index.html, you're going to delete the white text. So if you go into your line 17, 18, 19, we have the white text. The white text is where we want the link to be displayed from. But we don't need the white text anymore because now the buttons are clickable, okay? So now the buttons are clickable, we don't need the text anymore, the buttons itself would suffice. So now if I go into my index.html and I refresh, the buttons, the words are gone, and the buttons are now going to be your links, okay? But now if you now go into our goodies and our reviews, there's still the issue, so we're going to just make sure that we remove those from our goodies. So make sure you remove the home, the goodies, and the reviews. Go to reviews, home, goodies, and reviews. Yeah. So now again, if you go here, refresh, home, no more words, goodies, no more words, reviews, no more words. Alright, so now we have perfectly done the buttons. Let's go to our slides real quick to see what else we have left. So, alright, so after we've done the navigation bars, we did so good, okay? So here's the information for Mac users. Please take a look at this if you need to resize. This is another instruction for resizing image for PC. We did an easier way. If you have Paint, I heavily recommend resizing it the way I just did it during the video. Alright, table tag. So now we're going to go into our we're gonna work on this. We're not really gonna talk about it. I don't need to really explain this, but basically I'm gonna skip this because we're gonna do it in a bit. But the overall structure for the table tag is, it's not required, but you have the table, which initializes the table tag. The TR are rows, and our TD are the cells for the rows, okay? And then there's also ways you can center the table to make sure that it's in the middle of your website. And then this is the example for your CSS, just different things you can use to make your website prettier, okay? So what we're going to do next is we're going to open up our CSS. We're going to go into our goodies.html. I'm going to close everything else up. We're going to go into our goodies.html, and we are going to we're going to go into line 25, and inside H2, our heading 2, we're going to change that word from, instead of home, we're going to change it to menu. Alright, so now again, we're going to check our page real quick just to make sure that it's good. Refresh. I'm going to go to goodies. Now it says menu. Perfect. Alright. Now in line 26, we're going to type in a range of delicious goodies that put a smile on all of our customers' faces. Here's a list of our most popular menu items. Alright. So now we're going to begin our table by typing in, like what I said, table. And we're going to put in a class called center. When you do this, that means that now it's kind of like when we did a div ID thing where you can refer to this in our CSS. But don't worry about it right now, okay? So after you've done that, your ending table tag should have also popped up, and now you should be in line 28. And in line 28, we're going to begin our table row. So TR, enter. And now we're going to define the first table row. So we're going to type in TD, ending bracket, ending caret bracket thing. And we're going to type in strong. And then within the strong tags, we're going to type in meow chiato. Okay? After the ending strong tag, we're going to type in BR, a hot cup of macchiato with, it's really hard for me to type because I have my mic right in front of me blocking my keyboard, but it's fine, with a custom design on top, exclamation mark. And then right underneath that, we're going to type in another TD. So this is basically another column if you think about it that way. And we're type in open ankle bracket, and img image source equals to meowchiato.jpg, end quote, end bracket. Okay, you can make sure that it works by clicking on the link. Now it's working. All right, so we can take a look at how that looks. So we can refresh, and now you can see that we have our table with the text on one side, and that's the first column. So if you see where my cursor is, this area, this is our first column, and this is our second column, and we have defined this row. Okay, now we're gonna do this again. So we're gonna type in, if you want, you can copy this whole row that we have made, control copy, enter, paste this again. So now in the second line, instead of it saying meow chiato, it's gonna say honey biscuits. And after the break for the hot cup of macchiato, we're gonna change that to made and baked honey biscuits kneaded with love. And then for the image source, we're gonna change that to honey biscuits. Okay, so now again, we're gonna check our page, refresh. Now you can see that. If you ever want, you can put the image on one side and honey biscuits on the other side, right? You can all you have to do is just switch the image. So like if I show you, if you want to switch the columns, you can, like for example, like this. Then now you've switched the columns, okay? but I'm not gonna do that, okay? So now I'm gonna copy this column, this row one more time, and I'm gonna change the word honey biscuits. We have 3 menu items, okay? We're gonna change the word honey biscuits to macarons, or macarons, whatever, and then we're gonna change the description to like what I typed in earlier, decadent macarons made fresh daily with, which we're just gonna leave it that. I don't need to type more, okay? And then now we're gonna change the image to macarons. Alright, so now if I refresh, we have these cute little images with the cute little descriptions. And that is all we need to do for the table. So, okay, so like what I said earlier, you can technically define the class. And once you've defined that, you can go into your CSS and type in like dot class and then put in different descriptions. However, we don't really need to do that just because it's already centered, so we don't need to do that. However, if earlier when I had the image, when I switched the honey biscuits, the image to the other side, you can see that it was off-centered and outside the borders. If I wanted to fix that, I can fix it by defining the center class, which you can work on. Is our going to be our reviews dots the .html page. So we're gonna go back to our CSS and we're gonna go to reviews.html. And again, like remember, we're gonna make sure we're on line 25. I'm gonna change the word home to reviews. Now the next thing we're gonna type in is in line 26. We're gonna just type in some words. We're gonna type in our reviews. Just make it a little bit more happy. So our reviews, exclamation mark. In line 26, we're gonna type in a lot of words. Sorry guys. Shuka's sugar is currently a trending bakery, rated 4.8 out of 5 stars on Yelp. Check out our most recently made our most recent reviews made from satisfied customers. Exclamation mark again. Alright, so underneath that we're gonna do some little paragraphs. Okay, so we're gonna type in P, and that's gonna be the paragraph tag, and within the first paragraph tag we're gonna type in EM. The EM tag lets you italicize whatever words you want to put in, okay? And then within that, we're going to type in, quote, yummylicious cookies, absolutely mind-blowing. And then we're going to, outside of the italicize, we can just put in like a celebrity you like. I'm going to put, I don't really care for celebrities. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put... I don't like any. I don't know. What's a good artist? Sorry, I'm like thinking about this on the spot. I'm gonna I'm gonna put Lil Uzi. It's funny, okay? Did I even spell his name right? It just looks weird when I have it like spelled like that. Okay. Alright. The next thing we're gonna do another paragraph. And within that, we're gonna do the EM again, so then another italicized. We're gonna type in, are you sure you used the right cacao? Because they are just as addicting. Exclamation mark, quote. And then outside the EM, we're gonna type in Gordon Ramsay 2024. I know I didn't put the timestamp for the other one. I don't know why. I guess Gordon Ramsay just deserves a timestamp, but everyone else does not. And then we're gonna type in holy meow, end quote. And outside of that, we're gonna type in kid, and then inside parentheses we're gonna type in campus cat. Underneath that, we're going to type in break, and we're going to create a quick break, and we're going to insert actually a video. So let's put in the first header. We're going to type in H2, and within that we're type in one of our new co-chefs making our best seller honey biscuits. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we go into our references.html, and it's going to be the YouTube video. We're going to copy that YouTube video, open up a link, enter.
Again, use your...
And you don't have to watch the video if you want. It's just a video of a cat kneading. And you are going to click the share button. And you're going to click embed. Once you have clicked embed, all you have to do is copy this whole thing in. Please don't type this out manually. Just copy the iframe link in. Go into our reviews. And paste it right underneath the little H2 we just made, okay? And then after that, the iframe link we have pasted in, type in BR again, and we're gonna type in a caption. So we're gonna type in caption, and we're gonna caption this video of biscuit training process. Okay, so now if we go into our page and we now refresh, we'll have this very cute image with the quotes that we have inserted, and then the image that we have linked. I mean, the video we have linked, and it's now a clickable link. Clickable video we can watch inside. The last thing we're gonna do that I'm gonna show you that I completely forgot to show you guys is how you can insert a music clip into your website. So I'm just gonna do it in your index.html, but you could do it at the start in and then for your when you are making your skeleton, and then so between the ending footer and ending div, sorry, you're gonna type in audio controls autoplay. And autoplay source equals to, and in the quotation we are going to go into our references.html. We're gonna copy in the audio link. The audio link is the link, the MP3 link I have in here already, okay? And you can, if you honestly type in B, it should immediately start autofilling for you. But you can just click on that. You don't even have to paste it in actually. But in case, you know what I mean. You can close that up. And then I'm going to turn my volume down real quick. Now if I was to open up my page, my home page, this is not auto play, but sometimes it would just play over and over again like on its own. But if I click on this, it would play music. It's very cool. And you can do that for any music. You just have to make sure that you go into, like, for example, you can open up a page and click like YouTube video to MP3, and I'm sure this works. I think this is exactly what I used, but most of the links would work. Okay, just make sure you don't get like a virus on accident. Okay, yeah. And after that, after you have pretty much finished your site, the last thing we are going to do, let's see what slides I have left before I go like we're done basically. Okay, so again, so last thing, make sure that your site folder has everything you want to use before you make it. Now we're gonna make our site public. So what we're going to do is we are going to open up FileZilla, and you're gonna remember how we did this. We're gonna type in uhunix.hawaii.edu, hawaii.edu. Username is gonna be your username, password's gonna be your password, and your port number is gonna be 22. You're gonna click Quick Connect, okay, and then you're going to make sure you have a public underscore HTML made. If you haven't made that yet, just right click, click Create Directory, and name it public underscore .html, not .html, just public underscore HTML. Okay, that's it. Don't put .html, okay? Public underscore HTML, alright? After you've created that folder, let me delete this. I'm gonna delete. Alright. After that, I'm going to find, where is it? I'm gonna make sure I find my folder. So my day 2 section 1. I'm gonna make sure I find my folder. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna drag into my public underscore HTML. After nothing has corrupted, so it should fully transfer with no errors. I should have all files have been transferred successfully. Make sure you do that for your own site folder as well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up command prompt and I'm going to log in. So SSH UHUnix dot, wait, sorry, it's going to be username at UHUnix.hawaii.edu. Sign in with your password. Again, you won't be able to see your password, but as long as you type in password correctly, it should log in. ls, you can see your public underscore HTML. You're going to type in public, you're going to type in, I forgot the command. It's on the slide. It's perfect for your own sake. You're going to type in chmod recursive r, and then the permission, which is going to be 755, and you're going to type in public underscore HTML. And then now if you type in ls minus l, you can see all the permissions. Just make sure it's set properly so you can see that you have read, write, and execute, and everyone else has read and execute. Everyone has and group has group, and others both have read and execute. And what that means now is if you now open up any browser, so right now if you look at this says file. That means that this path is a file path. It says C file whatever. That means if I was to copy this link and I was to give it to you, you would not be able to access this link, okay? However, a link would now be www., you can already see it's autofilling for me, .hawaii.edu/tilde, and it's going to be your own username. Mine is XLIN. Alright, enter. Now it's going to bring me to this page. This is my UHUnix server, whatever, okay? It has all of the files I have inside my public underscore HTML, alright? So I have the HTML day 2 activity folder and the me folder. I'm going to go into my HTML day 2 activity folder, and that is, and sorry, it has 2 layers. It shouldn't have had 2 layers. It should have just been 1 layer, but for me, because I think I unzipped within the folder itself, it has 2 layers. Anywho, now you can see that all my pages are all working. There's no broken links. It's perfect. It looks so good. It looks so amazing. Yeah, and it looks so great and stuff like that. Alright, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how my page looked like when I was a student. So, if you see now, if I was to click on the me folder, that is how your site folder should look like, should be named as well. When you click on your me folder, you should open up to your page. You should have 5 buttons, 5 navigation. It has to be about you, okay? So again, it's about me, my hobbies, my family, my style, my future. Again, and this is gonna be your link. When you turn in, again, when you turn in your page, your this is the link you're turning in, okay? So your format should be www.hawaii.edu/your username /me/index.html. That should pretty much 100% of the time be what your link looks like. The last thing I want to mention is, I just said that it was the last thing I wanted to mention, but if you go into the checklist documentation and you take a look at your checklist documentation, that is my homework for some of my classes. Okay, so these are all self-explanatory, like the whatever. Okay, adding content. So for your rollover buttons, technically all of your rollover buttons are all link images, correct? So those double count. Additionally, each rollover image counts as 2 images. So the first image that we had, remember, if you guys remember the home one, for example, that's your first image. The second image that you hover your button over and it's a rollover, that's your second image. So technically, if you do all of these correctly, you have 10 images already, okay? And then you have all these done because all of the images are links, okay? So a lot of the skills are double counted. External links, like what I said, are images, or doesn't have to be images, but links that bring you to a different browser. So for example, when you click on the navigation bars, it goes within itself. It opens within itself. It doesn't open a new tab. However, if I click on background source link, it opens up a new tab. The way you do that is blank target underscore blank. Okay. Alright, I think that's all I wanted to say. So make sure you please turn in this lab activity once you have finished this lab activity. I completely forgot you have to even turn this in. And the way you'll turn this in is by, after you have made sure that your site is working with the link, you're going to turn in the format www.edu/your username, okay? If you have any concept you struggle with, please email me. I will try to be active during Thanksgiving, but I have no promises, okay? So, yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.